I started this YouTube channel with the intentions of helping somebody get set free, right? We about snatching back our lives, and nobody got time for all of that. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. Procrastination, we're not doing that no more, right? We're stepping into alignment. We're moving with purpose and intention. We have goals in place. Mentally, we got to make sure that your mind is right. We can't be all over the place. I mean, mind is chaotic. You have people in your life that is distracting you, that is bringing some things in your life that is not even of your business, okay? And so many things that can happen that can literally steer into procrastination, including doubt and fear, the things that we tell ourselves every single day, right? The things that we hear people say when you're on social media and you have ideas or you have a perception of where you want your life to go, and yet you're watching everybody else win and you're like, how will I ever get there, right? It's the things that we feed ourselves. And as we all know, the word says that as a man thinketh, so is he. So we got to definitely retrain our thoughts. We got to really align and quiet the storm in our mind so that you can hear from God, so that you can gain clarity. It's not anybody else's responsibility once you know better to do better. And now that you're on this video, you now know better. A lot of times we are going through life and we kind of call in some of those things by our thoughts. We're worried about this, we're worried about that, we're just trying to make things work. It's just so much going on, and so it gets chaotic, and then you can't really hear or make really sound decisions. And so our mind needs to be quiet, and quieting my mind was more like, I feel this procrastination, like I know I should be doing X, Y, and Z, but I'm not. And every day I'm telling myself I'm gonna do this, and then the next day, I still haven't done that, right? And before you know it, months were passing me by, and here I am. I got out of that procrastination funk. I'm back. I'm here on YouTube. And so I want to just share with you that those things that helped me getting quiet, right? In order for me to get quiet, I had to release some people. I had to let go of some things. I had to stop repeating the same patterns and going through the same habits that I was doing that was keeping me stuck and stagnated and not really moving, like feeling like I could do it, feeling like I'm Rocky Balboa, but in the reality of it, I'm not moving as if I'm Rocky Balboa. I'm not doing the work that's required for me to be trained and fit for that fight. I had to do the things that was required of me, and that was, again, quieting my mind, taking long walks, releasing the things that were no longer serving me. Again, I had to go within. I had to really get quiet and analyze my life, where I am, where I was, where I came from, my experiences, the lessons that I've learned from all of those things, and accepting, those times of my life that may not have felt good or looked good, things that I may have experienced that caused trauma or doubt or even got me stuck in procrastination energy. Meditating helped me, because meditation was like, I knew I was in stillness. Now, don't get me wrong. At first, it ain't easy, okay, to begin to meditate, because your mind is racing and you're all over the place. But the more you do it, whether you give yourself 5 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, once a day, 3 times a day, the goal is to get started, right? To quiet your mind so that you can begin to align with your mental process. So you can begin to analyze what you're allowing in, what you're feeding your thought process, how thoughts are showing up and forcing you to go into your emotions, right? That is now causing triggers, that is setting you off, okay? We want to quiet the mind. It's the most important thing, if you ask me, that it was really, truly sitting with myself and just being quiet, just really connecting with God, connecting with Source, connecting with the universe, connecting with my whole entire spiritual team. As you see, I love plants, and they give me energy. It's like good vibes, good energy, positivity. I feel like I'm protected, by nature, and nature is a good thing for your soul when you are trying to get clarity and you're trying to clear out the things that are no longer serving you. So now that takes me to really tap into those emotions, what you're going through, because I know that as I was feeling, the procrastination in my space, I also was acknowledging that I had a lot of things that was going on, because I could feel the anxiety like rising up. I could feel the tension. I could even sense that there was doubt and within myself. And these things came from the emotions that, again, whether, you've dealt with some things in your life that caused you trauma or that caused you pain. Maybe those things are showing up because something happened that caused a trigger. And so now you have these emotions that are embodying you. And now those emotions are causing you to be in your head, try to figure things out, go back to the past, try to change what you know you cannot change. Okay. Because, we got to move on, right? We have to move on from the past. The past is what keeps you stuck indefinitely in procrastination. And so we have to embody those emotions and acknowledge what they are and call them out so that you can finally be like, you know what? That's it. I'm releasing that. Like, that's no longer serving me. It has not given me anything, has not helped me in this season of my life. But I am so grateful for that season because it showed me X, Y, and Z. It taught me X, Y, and Z. I learned X, Y, and Z. It's always something that God wants you to get from the experiences that we experience. And so you want to kind of really sit with your emotions and then release them. If you got to cry, baby, cry, because tears is good for your soul. But at some point, with quieting your mind and really sitting with those emotions, you can now see and feel, what's been hindering you, what might be keeping you stuck, what might be keeping you stagnated, what you can release, what you need to let go of, how you need to forgive yourself. We have to get with those emotions. Those emotions, baby, will take you on a whirlwind of spin, okay? And it will have you depressed, really facing anxiety, going through health issues, mentally just decapitated, okay? And spiritually bound, where you're not even connecting with God. You're not connecting with Source to give you what it is that you need in that season of your life. How can you? There's so much going on that's causing that procrastination. And now that takes me and leads me into spirituality and being a spiritual being. Like, we are all spiritual beings. A lot of things that we have the perception and the understanding. Spirituality is really that oneness, that connection that you have with God, that beautiful relationship and understanding that God don't make no mistakes, and nothing that God does is a coincidence in your life. It's either going to be a lesson or a blessing. You got to take and pick and choose how you going to choose it, right? You got to know how God is showing up in your life and why certain things are happening in your life, right? So once we're quiet with our mind, our emotions, we're understanding them, we are spiritually aligning with God, and we're allowing God to pour back into us to kind of guide us and give you what you need in that season of procrastination, in that season of change, in that season of action and movement, aligned with God, where we're asking God to show us, to give us, to, guide us on the path that He has already planned for us. Take it granted, a lot of times we do things and we believe that is exactly what we're called to do. But then we realize that sometimes those things aren't working. Maybe it's not working because it's not for the now, or maybe it's not working because, it's just not what you think you're supposed to be doing, right? So you have to have that spirit of discernment. But in order to have that spirit of discernment, again, that's another reason, even more so, you need to be able to connect with God. You have to have that quiet time. You have to release what you don't need to be holding on to. All that baggage, let it go. It's not serving you. It's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you procrastinating. It's keeping you from fulfilling your dreams and reaching your goals. It's stopping you from having that relationship that you've always wanted, or being that boss that you've always desired, and having the desires of your heart by traveling the world and, just being free. I know that for me, my relationship with God has always been a priority in my life, even the times when I slipped, right? Even the times when I felt like I was backsliding, even the times when I knew that God was not going to be pleased with me by an action that I took, or a decision that I made, or a word that I spoke, or something that I did or did not do. But I know one thing for certain is God loves me no matter what. And He loves you too. And He's here to set you free. He's here to give you everything you need. Like, He has everything for us on the other side of darkness, on the other side where there is the light, to fulfill those dreams, to open the doors that need to be opened, to touch the people that need to be touched in order for Him to shift you, right? But we can't shift and move to the next level until we clearly have a connection with God, where we can be divinely guided, knowing that is of God. I know because of the fruit, right? And so our spiritual relationship is more like, For me, it was like, once I'm getting quiet, I'm understanding these emotions, I'm letting go of what no longer serving me, I'm connecting with God, I'm meditating, I'm taking long walks, I'm making things a priority in my life. And I know that the only way that I can actually tackle this procrastination is getting aligned with God and letting Him lead me. My cup is empty and no one else is pouring into me, but you got to pour into yourself. We are setting this tone to get quiet, to do the things that are required of us, to tackle those emotions that are no longer serving us, and know that there's things that we cannot change, right? But to use the wisdom and the discernment to know which ones that we can change, right? And that is the change that is within yourself, the change that is within you to make for yourself to be great, to snatch back your life. You really got to take time to love on yourself, baby. I know there's probably been some words that's been exchanged, some people that did some things, but we can't be letting that keep us bound, right? And keeping us in procrastination because we're in our head, we're stuck in our emotions, we're not spiritually aligned, we're not letting God fight the battles for us, we're trying to fight battles on our own. Give yourself grace and learn to love back on you, right? You loved everybody else, you poured into everyone else, you tried to help so many people. But when have you taken the time out to really, truly sit with yourself and give yourself what it is that you need, what it is that you desire in your life? I don't know about you, but, I started making sure that I got up early, right? I got well rest. I started changing my diet, becoming physically fit, doing the things that were required. I made sure I went on my walk. So I got up every day and did my prayer and my gratitude. I made sure I write in my journal. I make sure that I am taking the steps that's required of me in order to get to the place that I want to be. I know that, coming on YouTube for years, I had put it to the side. Some of those times I didn't think I was equipped for it, right? I didn't know what to say. I don't know what to come on here and talk about. I don't know what to do next, but yet here I am on YouTube, And so I'm grateful for that because the spirit of procrastination has been broken, baby. If you've been procrastinating, if you've been doubting yourself, if you've been putting yourself on the back burner, if you have not gotten quiet with yourself, you need to. It's time. I don't care if you're young, middle age, or old. It's never too late. And it's really good to start once you know better, right? Because when you know better, you're going to change your attitude. You're going to change, the way you move now, the way you speak now, the things that you do. It's going to vibe with you. You're going to become your true, authentic self. You're going to be able to flow and go with the flow, right? God's going to open up the doors that is needed for you to get to where you're trying to go and break that spirit of procrastination. But we got to do the things that's required of us, right? We got to do the work. A lot of times we don't want to do that work, right? We don't want to go for those walks to get fit, right? Or to clear our mind. We don't want to stop at the gym to walk that treadmill so that we can make sure our hips are in alignment and we are in shape. When you do walk, it kind of does clear your mind, especially when you're outdoors and you're seeing God's beautiful creation, hearing the birds chirp. I mean, my God, what that does for your soul. I don't know about you, but it does good for my soul. So that's why I'm on here to tell you, you got to do the things that are needed and necessary for your well-being, because that's the way you're going to snatch back your life, take back your power, and get out here and get done what you've been wanting to do. Whether that's starting a business, writing a book, getting married, having children, creating passive income, coming on YouTube to create your own personal channel, right? Branding yourself and doing TikToks or whatever it is. I mean, my God, there's so much endless possibilities of the desires that are on your heart. And I know that God is going to fulfill each and every one of them once you are out of that spirit of procrastination. We are no longer procrastinating. Get up every day and do something that you need to be doing, something that is required of you to get to your next level, right? Now, there's one day and one step at a time. You can't rush this process, but you got to get up and you got to get shit done, okay? You got to get up and you got to get shit done. Point blank period. There's no going around it. Every day that you sit there and you watch social media, you sit and you watch different movies and housewives of whoever is out there, right? When we're doing these things, they are only pouring into us negativity, low vibrations, doubt, fear, comparison, just all kind of things that is not helping you. You know what I'm saying? It's not helping you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and definitely financially, because how can you get to the bag if you're stuck? How can you make money if you're feeling bound in lack, right? Because you are, not in a place or space where you can take yourself to. And so I am so glad to be here. You know, I'm going to put this video out however it came out, however it looked, you know, because my goal is come on here and drop some wisdom. And as God lead me, I know my videos are going to get better. I know the content is going to get stronger. And I know some people out there are going to be impacted and going to become stronger versions of themselves, taking that wisdom of 51 years of experience and saying, girl, let me tell you, honey, I know the battle. I've been in the dark. Okay. And I know the light. Okay. I know that life has hit me in so many ways that it has only elevated me. Right now, I'm confident in myself. I'm believing in my abilities and my capabilities. I feel stronger and more empowered to get out of my way so that I could get stuff done and finally get to the place that I want to be. Right. I don't know how this is going to lead out. I don't. But guess what? I trust God. I trust God in the process of this journey. I trust God as I'm on this path. I trust God in my life because why? Everything that I have experienced and been through, I tell you one thing for certain. He has never left me nor forsaken me. To bring myself back into my wellness, right? To take back my power. Baby, let me tell you something. You are who God said you are no matter what. And it doesn't matter who was in your life. Doesn't matter what life lessons you experience. You've got to trust God in this process. And baby, that procrastination is already broken. All right. You got to claim that thing. You got to decree that thing. And you got to tell that thing exactly where to go. Right back to the pits of hell for where it belongs because it's action time. It's action time. And so again, I love y'all so much. I'm out of here. I hope that this has blessed y'all in somehow, some way. But I know it's blessing me right now. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling motivated. I'm feeling inspired. I'm feeling courageous. I'm feeling bold, right? I'm feeling like I'm here, right? God, keep showing me the way to impact you. You, yes, you who are watching. And if you have not already done so, please drop some comments down below. Hit the like so that it can get into the algorithm. I want to be able to pour into those who are looking to change their lives, snatch back their lives, become stronger versions of themselves, do the work that's necessary, transform. Okay, we are transforming. And I'm so grateful for my transformation. And my transformation is going to help me bless you. So subscribe to the channel. All right. Subscribe, comment down below so that I can know that you're here. And I will see you all in the next video. Remember to give yourself grace, baby. When you know better, that's where you're going to be held accountable for. All right? To do better for you. Love y'all. Bye.